I've cut my, as you can see it's upside down, but I'm holding the logo how I want to place it on in my hand. So I've got with the tweezers and I'm going to place it on like that. So I'm holding it like this. So I'll take it with my squeezing tight, hold it with my left hand and get my glue. As I said, it's just a basic craft glue, clear. And then I'm still squeezing tight because I do not want to drop this right now. So it only needs a little bit of glue. And once it comes out, just dab that and just work it around the paper. Not too much, just enough. And now, taking it back to my right hand to how I want to place it, because that's how I feel most comfortable. Oops, how I feel most comfortable. And place it roughly in the middle. And then I can just maneuver it to where I want it to go. And have a look at that. Is that close enough? You want to get it perfect. So you've got a bit of time before the glue starts to adhere. And I might just move it slightly that way. Really? There we go. Just bear with me. Alright, there we go. That's pretty good. So I'm just going to let that dry before I put my clear varnish paint over the top of that. And in the meantime, I have cut out one of the small shoulder emblems, which I'll stick on as well. And there's the second one, which will go on the other elbow, which I'll have to cut out. Obviously it's very small, so cutting that, I would cut most of the paper off and just give me something to hold while I'm doing the initial cuts, and then eventually use the tweezers to then cut in. And you don't need, so there's areas here that are really tight. You don't need to cut in and around there or in and around here. It's too tight, you might end up losing some of the logo. So what I'll do, I'd cut straight across there, and that little bit of white that was showing on the navy blue, I'd just dab that with the dark Sharpie pen, so it's virtually dark navy anyway, and you won't see that white, and it saves you cutting off any of the logo. Right, so I'll put on one of the shoulder emblems. Now I have the other one here ready to go. So I've got it positioned so I can put the glue on, and then I can swap it carefully into my right hand, which is my dominant hand, and place it how I want to. So only the tiniest bit of glue here because it is such a small piece of paper. Oh, that's almost too much. Let's get rid of that. Okay. There we go. I'm just going to move that a little bit with my finger because it was a little bit too much there. Alright, so now I'm just going to place that inside these. Okay, on the outside there. So I'm just going to place it in a rough position, push it down, and then just with my fingers, because it is over the shoulder, you need to sort of roll it so that it goes with the shape of the shoulder. That's pretty good. Let's have a look. Okay, so there we go. Let's push it down there. There we go. So now, like the chest logo, I'm going to let that dry. And once it's dry, that's when I'll put the clear varnish over. Alright, we're almost done. So we're now nearly at the final stages, so we've only got a little bit to do. First of all, before we do the helmet and the strap, I'm just going to put a little bit of clear varnish over the logo. And when it first goes on, it kind of changes the colour a bit of the logo, but once it dries, it shows its original colours. So that's essentially just sealing it. And I'll do the shoulders as well, and then I'll come back and we'll get into the helmet. Alright, so we've sealed both shoulder logos and the main one on the chest. So now we're at the final stages. As you can see, I still haven't touched the helmet yet because I'm still using it as supporting while I'm painting. So I'm actually going to do the chin strap first before I end up painting the helmet. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, just with my white paint. And roughly find the middle And just work your way to a point on the chin. Turn him over. And then come from the other way. As I've always said, is that if you make an error, you can always fix it later once it's dried. And I can tell you now that on this particular character, there's a couple of things I'm going to have to go over. I know that around the neck, the skin is taking up too much of his sweater, so I'm going to go a little bit more navy blue to get some more sweater in there. And now I'll just do the earpiece. Paint right. Just a little hook on there, and I'll do the other side too, and then I'll get on to painting the helmet. I've got the chin strap on. Now I'm just going to paint the helmet. So like all the other big pieces of whether it's the shorts or the stripe, I always do the outside first. So I'll go around the outside and then fill it in. So I'm just going to go ahead and work my way around the helmet, the edge of it, and then I'll come in with a brush and fill it in, and I'll do that and I'll show you how it looks at the end. Right, so I've gone and finished the helmet, as you can see, and that's pretty much it. So what I'll do now is I would go over each little part, just check it to see if there's anything that I need to fix. So I'm probably going to put a little bit more navy around in his spots here around his neck, because it's just showing on the mould there where it should probably be sweater, not neck. And there's a few little spots that I'll just need to fill in. Navy blue in his shorts. I'll probably fix up this sock stripe a little bit because the silvers overlap the blue a little bit too much. It's just little things like that. And I'll probably just thin out that strap on the side of his face there with a little bit of the flesh colour. Obviously I'll do that once it's all dry, but essentially that's it from start to finish. Alright, so just to show you the paints that we use for this particular figurine, I like to use these Tamiya ones mainly because they dry the quickest. These other ones, obviously you can't get all the colours that you need in the same brand, so I've had to use some different brands, and they tend to dry take a little bit longer to dry, but I find that these ones, the Tamiya, are the fastest drying acrylic paints. Alright, so I hope that's helped, and stay tuned, we're going to show you what we've done with the game shortly.